if you want the prize, you must have to pay the price. Hello Champion Society, I welcome you to the second episode of Being Champions with Vaibhav Nahata. Today the guest we have with us is one of the most prominent trainers of Nepal whose life journey is extraordinary, and I am so glad that he is with us in the studio today. So just before we tune in to the studio to interact with him, to learn with him about life, motivation and things like that, I have a wonderful video. This is the video about a person whom you interact with every day indirectly. Yes, it's the founder of Facebook, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. So here comes the video, and just after the video, we'll have the wonderful interaction with Mr. Saurabh Loani. So here we go. Mark Zuckerberg is super inspiring, isn't it? And so is our wonderful guest today. All the way from Kathmandu, the CEO of Pahilo Paila, Saurabh Loani, who is one of the most sought after trainer in Nepal and is in the skies right now. We are very, very glad to have him in our show today. Thank you so much, Saurabh Loani, sir, for coming to us today. We're very glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
How's everything going?
Everything is as fine as it could be.
Okay, fantastically awesome.
It's just awesome. It's like wonderful.
Whoa, see, that's the champion spirit I was talking about, and just from this little time you can understand how wonderful this person is, right?
Thank you.
So, first of all, I would like to ask you a basic question.
Yes,
You had begun your life with struggle, and all the way from there you went to America to study from the the University of District of Columbia, and you had wonderful opportunities there. You have great communication skills. Along with that, you have great business skills. You have great ability to mobilize people. Still, what made you come Nepal and do something here? Because most of the people stay there once they are gone.
Thank you so much for asking this beautiful question, Vaibhav. I almost get shot the same question every time I go on an interview with anyone. But let me tell you this. My dad always told me that, son, as a human being, when you are born on this planet, you should make sure that you can impact as many lives as you can. What I found in States was, I went there to study. I did my education. But by the count of finger, who knew me? Not even my next door neighbor. And one morning, I woke up and I asked myself, Saurabh Loani, do you want to die unknown? Do you want to die like a dog in a street of Nepal? Do you really want to go out of this world making no changes, or let's say not even impacting the lives that you could have impacted? The answer was obvious. It was a no. And I said, then I should go back to my country and I should live in Nepal. The first purpose I had been in US was for education. I had already done that. What more? I mean, why should I stay more in this country? That's why I came down here. That's the story.
Wonderful. So, like, what I understood that you came in because you had a point of thought and realization that you wanted to impact lives, right? But still, what was that single trigger that made you come here?
It's simple, all right? I hate when people say that there is no opportunity in this country. My simple question to everyone is, how many times have you tried? How many times have you given a shot? One time? Two times? And if you rejected the third time, you're like, hands up. I'm done.
Okay.
I wanted to show people that there still is hope. There still is a chance. I mean, even if you go to US, let me tell you this, if you sow wheat seeds, you grow wheat.
That's true.
You don't grow gold.
That's true.
People have this false assumptions that if I land up in the US, I would be exceptionally rich overnight. It doesn't happen. And that is why, see, my first reason why I came to Nepal was to make an impact. To make sure my life goal still is to make an impact to more than 100,000 people before I die.
Okay.
And I don't know when the death would come knocking my doors, but I want to make sure that I impact 100,000 people, and that's one sole reason why I came to Nepal. The second is to show them that there is an opportunity if you work for it. That's it.
Wow, that was superpower. Huh? So we would like to inform all of you that I have as well attended Saurabh Loani's, motivational seminar and a training, right? And it was wonderful. So what I have a question, what happens is that these days we have YouTube, and YouTube is full of motivation. Like our viewers, the champion society has been watching so much, motivational videos here and there. But the question here is that even when so many people are watching those videos, even when they get a spirit for once, why is it so that this motivation does not get consistent, and how can this motivation be made consistent within all the people who watch any videos or who are watching this episode today and turn that into action?
Well, see, the simple funda is when you don't strike the hammer when the iron is hot, then probably the iron would not take the shape that you wish to give it. All right. What I am trying to say by this is listening to motivational speeches, you get pumped up. You feel like I can do anything. At such moment when you're pumped up, if you don't take action, the energy goes. Listen to this carefully. When you listen to motivational speeches, you are not motivated. You are full of energy. But when you take action, that's when you get motivated. But a lot of people, what happens is they listen to motivational speeches, but they miss the action.
Okay.
When you miss the action, what happens is the energy goes down and you feel like the motivation doesn't work. And another thing, let me tell you, some people say that I listen to a lot of motivational videos and it doesn't work. People, let me tell you this, in this world full of negativity, if you just listen motivational speeches just half an hour a day, it doesn't work. You have 24 hours in a day and you just listen half an hour a day motivational video, and what happens for the
That is quite a lot.
That's a lot, but still 23 and a half hours you are filled with negativity.
Okay.
It's just like brushing your teeth on Sunday and expecting it to be squeaky clean on Friday. It doesn't work. You have to regularly give yourself motivation. And when you are high on energy, take that one step. And in 6 months, in 3 months, in 2 months, in 5 months, in certain months, depending on how much energy do you imply on certain project, you get the results. Results, when you get it, you become more motivated. That's
Results
how it
motivate
works.
us.
Absolutely. Motivational speeches don't motivate you. They just give you energy. But with that energy, if you work, and when you get success, that motivates you. It's exactly opposite if you understand. So To the people who say that motivation is garbage, let me tell you this. Motivation is not garbage. It's a source of energy. But know what to do when you are high on energy. That's it.
So it's like when you are motivated, the champion society, what you have to do is that you have to get yourself a little action, right?
Yes,
A little
absolutely.
action, a little bit of inertia, and that is what will keep the whole train running for all the time. It's about
Absolutely.
the small beginning.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what I do is that I have my trigger in my hand.
Okay.
I shoot you.
Okay.
Now you are just about to die.
Okay.
When you are just about to die, you are in your deathbed, what would Saurabh Lohani's last word of wisdom be?
This is a pretty strange question. To be honest, it just came like the bullet. Never expected that it would. Well, to be honest, when I'm shot, I don't know what I would exactly say, but I would probably smile and say, live your life happily. I mean, I'm about to die. There's no point cursing anyone, or there's no point being angry at anyone. I would be dead maybe 2 or 3 seconds after being shot. So I would just say, probably, how you see in the movies, I'd just give them a peace sign and say, live happily.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of right now. I
Okay.
can't think of anything else.
So, Saurabh Lohani, you have been into this training industry in Nepal since quite a long time,
Yes.
right? I would say it to be a long time,
Yes.
and it is quite flourishing at this point
Yes,
of time. It is
absolutely.
consistently growing.
Absolutely.
So when you look back to your journey from not just the training part, from the very beginning of your life till this place to be becoming one of the most prominent trainers and speakers in Nepal, what are a few, let's say 3 most important life values or lessons you have learned that you would like to share to our champion society?
Okay, that's a beautiful question, Vaibhav. Again, number one lesson that I learned is it came from J.K. Rowling, the writer of Harry Potter. What
Okay.
she said is, at one given point in life, you will fail no matter how hard you try. And if you have avoided failure till this moment, then you have failed by default. Let me tell you this, you can't avoid failure. The wins, the victories, the successes do not teach you as much as the failures do. When you fail, then only you realize how sweet is victory. Number one. Number two, reminds me of Bruce Lee.
Okay.
What he said was, I am not scared of a person who knows 1,000 different kicks. I am scared of a person who knows one kick and who he has practiced for 1,000 times. Imagine how powerful that person would be. One kick.
That is.
Absolutely, like that. I see a lot of people, they call this new fancy word, I'm hustling. Don't hustle. Do one thing. Do something that you are so passionate from your heart and just keep on doing. Number two. Number three is, there are 3 types of people in this world. Number one, friends who would stick with you, families who would stick with you in good times, bad times, and whatever times. Second are the kind of people who are there what you are there for. Meaning, if I want to be a trainer and if that person wants to be a trainer, he would be there with you until and unless his goals are fulfilled. And as soon as I cannot fulfill his goal, he would go out of my life. Third kind of a person who comes to your life is the person who is in for your fights. He comes to battle at some point of your life, your battles. And when you lose or win the battle, that person would leave. I realize that there are so many people who would come and go, but everybody would teach you a valuable lesson. If good people teach you what to become or who to become, the bad people teach you who not to become. And everything that comes in your life is blessing.
Wow.
And these three important lessons are the lessons that probably I would share with you and with the Champions Society.
Let me come back to the second point you talk about.
Okay.
You talked about. You said that follow your passion. What happens is that to our champion society, who really wants to become the somebody, who really wants to become the real champion, who the people know as champion as well. But the challenge is that every time they come across something, they question themselves that if this is their passion. Okay, let me explain. Like if you are playing cricket and you took a wicket today, you feel like I must be a bowler, I must be a cricketer. You do some nice painting and you think, shall I be a painter? You do some little bit of business or anything like that, and then it strikes, okay, can I become a businessman? Then you speak, you can I become a speaker? So there's a lot of confusion going on, that what is my passion?
Yes.
There are so many things that come across the mind of our champion society. Please explain.
Absolutely. There are so many things in this society where we have influx of messages, information, and we are surrounded by so many things. Number one, always to find what you are passionate about. Can you do that thing when nobody tells you to do that thing? Number one. Okay, do you do it by yourself or does somebody need to tell you again and again? Number one. Number two, can you do that thing throughout your life? Ask yourself this question. Can you play cricket throughout your life? Can you paint throughout your life? Number two. Number three, can you do it even when you are not paid money? Like, let me tell you this. I started my journey of being a public speaker from 2010. If I tell this thing to new generation or generation right below me, they would probably laugh at it. But for 6 years, until 2016, I did my public speakings and trainings for free.
Is it?
It is first time in 2016 I got my first ever paid job. Imagine what kind of physical and mental trauma that I was going through. Imagine how my family would ask me questions of what exactly are you trying to do after having studied from US. Imagine what people would have said. I was a quoted idiot for not joining the workforce, for not making the money, and rather running behind the passion. But I was always happy when I saw the crowd, and when I spoke, when I taught them, when I wanted to impart my knowledge to them. And I knew this is something that I've fallen in love with. And I continued. And today, many people know me because of my capabilities in this domain. So that's how you realize
Just
what
a
your
second,
passion
just
is.
a second. You said you began your speaking journey in 2010,
Absolutely.
and 6 years you did no pay. So you were full time into that.
Yes, I was almost full time into that. Like, let me tell you this. I had been continuously said that there's no opportunity in the field of public speaking. I applied to so many jobs, I applied to trainings, but my job, my CV, my resume was rejected. I told me, this rejection cannot contain me. I started my own channel on YouTube, just that I can keep my passion alive. Started posting it, and only in 2016 or 17 I started generating revenue from YouTube, so that it reached out to so many people that people started calling by themselves, even the companies that at first hand rejected me as a trainer and a speaker. So yes, I did it for free for 6 years, but I am happy. I am satisfied. I burned the fuel, I went to those places, and I made people happy about giving them trainings on public speaking. So yes, I did.
Wonderful. Let me ask you that little point. Okay, what was your first paid training? Who was it to the first training, paid training?
My goodness, I don't remember exact name of the company, but I do know this gentleman. His name is Lavendra Malla.
He must be so proud.
He is already a very proud, a very successful person. He is a very successful and a very humble human being.
Okay.
He noticed me and he said, I want you as a public speaker. And I spoke my first paid project in Hotel Himalaya. And I cannot forget that day. That day was very, very important in my life.
So we are in the last part of today's wonderful interaction with the champion Saurabh Loani, and let's play a little bit of rapid fire round.
Absolutely.
Ready?
Absolutely.
Okay. Simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a small word,
Okay.
and you have to speak a sentence about it, whatever comes to your mind.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll try my
Ready?
best, yes.
Okay. So life,
It's beautiful.
wife.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Life is beautiful. Wife is beautiful. Knife.
Knife is sharp.
Okay, okay. And let's say, how about public speaking?
It's something that is in my soul.
Motivation?
People love it.
Smile?
Every time.
Vaibhav Nahata.
Handsome.
Okay, okay. And Saurabh Loani.
Smart.
Smart, okay, smart. This guy is smart, the smart champion. Okay, so this last one. Okay, this is the last one, and you can extend it to as much as you want.
Okay.
You are breaking the rules. In the champion, champion Saurabh Lohani style, who breaks the rules to create his own rules.
Thank
And you can be as long as you want, because this is going to be a very important part for our audience. So this question is simple. What is the last piece of advice that you would like to give to our champion society?
Before I go, I would like to give this advice to you, to whoever is watching, to myself as well. Never ever listen to people. People only give you suggestions based on the knowledge that they have acquired, based on the boundaries that they have created, based on the experience that they have experienced. I am a different human being. Vaibhav is a different human being. You are a different human being.
You are.
I cannot give you suggestion based on my life experiences. So let me tell you this, don't become the football of somebody else's thoughts. You need to listen to people, but deciding is your part. Because right now, whatever you do, people would ask, why? But if you keep doing that and become successful, mark my word, they will ask you, how did you do it?
Okay.
So keep doing what you are doing. Listen to people. Listen to good advices. But do what you want to do. And when you do it, put your whole heart and mind to it. Just don't do it for the sake of doing it.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, how was your experience today at being champions with Vaibhav Nahata?
I seriously feel like I'm a champion. Probably it's the energy transformed from Vaibhav. And I absolutely loved being here.
Thank you so much. Well, this man was super inspiring. Not just you, but I as well am super inspired right now. Thank you so much, Saurabh Loani, for being with us today. I'll be waiting for you, the Champion Society, next Monday, 7 p.m. only at Makhalu Television. Thank you so much for watching Being Champions with Vaibhav Nahata.